Sports anime are a weird bunch, aren't they? I absolutely love them 9 times out of 10 because of their exaggerated take on realistic human achievement, but then we have another side to them in which the sport is the backbone to a story revolving around something entirely different, being memorable in their own way. I feel like the classic series Princess 9 falls into the subset. Granted, is Princess 9 considered a true classic? Probably not in the eyes of very many, as it is an obscure series that has barely been touched upon. But considering a lot of topics nowadays are focusing on the ideas of gender equality and the mob mentality, I feel like the series would have been brought up a lot more in that regard. Princess 9 is definitely not your standard type of sports series, as the outcome presented to us early on is taking a newly created all-girls baseball club and having them try to compete in the grand finals of a male-dominant sport, something that we can still discuss today regarding athlete participation and the laws of Title IX. This idea that a person of the opposite gender is unable to play just because of this one specific issue is something that doesn't make sense in my eyes if the prior qualifications were already met. Izumi was beating a men's doubles team by herself and no one questioned anything, but when a quote-unquote man's game like baseball is involved, it suddenly isn't proper and they are a disgrace to the name of the school. After Kisaragi defeats Rinkai in their first true match, they should have had the right to join the league based on prior agreements. However, the Baseball Association dismissed them without even acknowledging how talented they truly are. It's not even the fact that they dismissed them that's the problem. If they weren't on par with the talent of others, it makes sense as they don't have the right to join if they aren't good enough. But to say no because of who they are is such backwards logic. Since they prove they are good enough to defeat a well-respected team in the league, fairly I might add, they are good. End of story. We are shown that Rinkai gave Kisaragi everything they had. That's when we see the game as a battle between two strong teams and not two genders. It's more because of the fact that the balance of power for so long changes from all one side to more of an equal footing. Even after that genuine victory, it's still not enough to be acknowledged by the higher ups. They will still try to bring them down through false allegations or things that don't even involve them. What a load of crap. If the status quo is disrupted by just a smidge, people lose their minds. It doesn't even affect them, but they still have to butt in. Instead of looking at the team like human beings, they instead look at them like numbers on a spreadsheet. Once our people of power finally start to show a backbone and start listening to others instead of just themselves, do they understand how successful these girls are? And they certainly prove it when the chance of winning is on the line. Princess 9 is able to break down walls and discrimination, and I think people should watch the show for that theme alone. Alright, enough talk about that, let's talk about another strong suit of Princess 9, its cast. While there is a focus on the dynamic between Yo, Izumi, and Hiroki, I didn't find one character to be more important than the other. That is one of the beauties of sports anime when done well. You can create a cast of characters that all progress into something worth fighting for, and Princess 9 certainly does that. Characters who had no skill in the beginning turn the tide in big games, players who are talented but have confidence issues learn to get help from others, and even when infighting is involved, they are able to put aside their differences to help the team. While I really couldn't stand Izumi, mostly because she ruins everything good that happens to Yo, I even understood where she was coming from. The show's focus on its romance and dramatic plot points also help in building up this cast even more, and they certainly rival other series in their strong categories. Heck, Princess 9 is the only sports series I have seen to introduce not one, but multiple occurrences of possible death to the team, and with this it creates a sports show that shows how teams thrive more than just on the field. Princess 9 is a show that wears its heart on its sleeve, and that is an absolute redeeming quality I appreciate. Taking the concept of baseball and instead turning it into a redemption story about improving your inner hardships rather than skill is something I like seeing in sports anime, and each cast member brings their own unique personality to create a team of misfits that you will root for by the end. While at times it goes a little too far into anime territory, especially surrounding their psychological battles in their first couple of games, it sure still makes things fun, and since the show also has more of a focus on a romantic drama, which I believe to be a worthwhile addition to the main storyline, I think it adds a little more interest to those who want to try a new sports series. There's something about watching an older show that also makes me appreciate how much more difficult it was to create these series before adapting to the digital techniques we see today, and while Princess 9 hasn't aged as well as I would have hoped, its art style still fits its classic form. It's a show I absolutely recommend to anyone with an interest in trying out new sports anime. Now, if you are interested in checking out Princess 9, you can watch both the sub and dub versions for free over on Nozomi Entertainment's YouTube channel. Now, what are your thoughts on Princess 9 if you have seen it? Comment below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, I would really appreciate it. Subscribe for more anime related content and follow me on Twitter, Kitsu, and my anime list if you're interested. I'm Kent from Spartan Media Reviews, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Thank you for watching.
Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me, 'cause I want you and I need you, and I'm down for you always. KB, do you love me? Are you riding? Say you never ever leave from beside me, 'cause I want you.